All right. GM, GAG, everybody. Welcome to what's going to be another great DevNTell. So, if you didn't know, DevNTell is a 30-minute window for members of the DAO to showcase something they're passionate about or have been working on. This can be an awesome project you've been working on, demonstrating you testing best practices, automation goodies, smart contracts, how to structure a project, etc. Basically, if you got a passion for something, this is your opportunity to share it with the community. And today I'm happy to introduce to you Nico, who will be giving us a overview of data unions. Oh yeah. Take it away, Nico.
Yes, very cool. Hey guys, I'm Nico. I'm DevRel for Data Union, DAO, and Streamer. And yeah, as Nap already told you guys, I'm going to talk about data unions. What are data unions? How we utilize microtransactions and how we kind of work with our smart contract to enable that. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna dive in. Hang on, let me share my screen. Oh, it doesn't let me just show you Chrome, so I'm going to show you everything. Right. Can you guys see everything?
So right now we see Discord.
You see Discord?
Yeah.
Okay, that's weird. Oh, I'm clicking on entire screen. Okay, so let's try this again. What about now?
Yep. Now we see Chrome.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. Right, so enabling on-chain microtransactions and how this powers data union use cases. That's essentially what I'm gonna talk about today. So yeah, let's just dive right in. So first of all, what's kind of the problem, right? You have Vitalik here on the left side and you have a bunch of developers on the right side. And if Vitalik wants to send just a few, like a fraction of like a big sum, for example, you have 100 Shiba token and you want to send one Shiba token to each developer on the right side, then this becomes very expensive. A lot of transactions have to happen, and we kind of have to find a solution for that problem. And we are solving this with a smart contract. And here you can see, like, if he wants to send like multiple batches of Shiba token, like he wants to send 100 token and another 100 token and another 100 token, this becomes like a lot of transactions over time, right? So let's see what kind of our solution for this problem is. So what we have is a smart contract that when Vitalik sends this batch of Shiba token, it actually stays in the smart contract. So when I speak about token, by the way, I speak about ERC20 token. So he sends a few token into the smart contract, and in our solution, it actually stays there and kind of keeps track what member is eligible for what amount of token, right? So in this case, we have this whole different calculation from 3 times 6, or sorry, 1 times 6 to 1 plus 6, which is 7 transactions. So now, actually, it gets a bit worse, right? So we have more transactions. So this only makes sense if we have multiple transactions to the same batch of people. So if we go back, right, this is a batch of token that gets sent to the same amount of people and to the same addresses as well. Only makes sense in that case. So what you can see here is we have 3 batches of token now. They go into contract and they stay in here. So we only have 3 transactions from Vitalik and then 6 transactions from these guys. And what are these transactions from the developers here or from the wallet addresses? They are just withdrawal functions. So they say, hey, I want to get my token out of the contract. Please send them to me. And that's what the contract does. And they can get their token at any point of time. But you know, like it only makes sense if the token actually accumulate, because we are talking about microtransactions, right? Like we don't want to spend a fraction of a cent to get a fraction of a cent. Like it doesn't make sense. You don't want to have a null sum at the end, right? So this is like kind of the idea we're having there. And now I'm diving more into how we actually solving this and how we're programming this. And this is, by the way, we already programmed the contract, so it's anyone can use it. I'm going to go into that later. Okay, cool. So I'm not gonna show you the whole smart contract code because that's like a lot, but I'll show you the GitHub repository later so you can go through it yourself step by step. But this is like the main concepts in there. So essentially we have a map right up here. Can you guys see my mouse? I'm never sure with these PowerPoints.
Yes. Yep.
Oh, awesome. Okay. Cool. So we have a map in the smart contract that maps to the member info. So the members are, in this case, these guys, right? So the member info is just a struct with an active status. So this one says, is the member active or inactive at the moment? So for example, the smart contract handles, like if this guy is not, should not receive any token at the moment, he can be set as, or get set as inactive. And then if Vitalik sends some token in here, only these guys would get receive token essentially, and this guy could still receive his token, but he would not like get a share of this. More about this use case later. Yeah, and what also our smart contract enables is this add member function. So only the admin or the join part agent here. This is a modifier that just checks, okay, so can this address actually add any members, or should it, not be allowed? Because if anyone could join the smart contract, this would not be ideal, right? Because then anyone could receive token, which is not ideal. So you have to have like one central instance, or at least one address that kind of manages if you're eligible to receive some token or not. And these variables are just there to kind of calculate, okay, how many tokens has the members already received, how many have they withdrawn, and how many can they still withdraw. Exactly, yeah. And the remove member function, anyone can call this. So messenger.sender, you as a member, you can leave the data union. It's just you can't join it yourself. And the join part agent, which is essentially the admin or the owner of the contract, because it's an ownable contract, you can just remove or kick members out of the data union, which then states them as inactive, and then they won't receive more token. Cool. Yeah. Now we go into like why or how this whole thing like works. Like how does this revenue calculation work, and how does the smart contract work in that sense? So we save the transaction fee. Can you guys hear me properly and everything? It's all good because I only can see my presentation at the moment, so it's a bit hard to tell.
Oh, yeah, you're coming in clear. Voice and
Awesome.
yeah, voice and all.
Okay. Are there any questions on the way? Because I'm like just ranting down.
So I guess the if I understood the main concept behind the smart contract is to enable batch transactions in a more efficient way.
Yeah, exactly. So we wanna save on transactions because it doesn't make sense to send like 36 transactions, right?
Mm-hmm.
3 batch transactions. We just want to kind of reduce that, and we can reduce it up by quite a bit. Like the more batches of transactions go to the same people, the more transactions you can save essentially.
Gotcha.
So that's like kind of the core idea behind it. Cool, yeah. Right, so let's just assume Vitalik just sent 100 Shiba token into the smart contract. Now, the smart contract needs to kind of calculate, okay, how and where are we going to send the token? And this is going to happen in refresh revenue. So the token get in, refresh revenue gets called, and then all the smart contract does really is go to the token here, which can be any token. Let's just assume it's the Shiba token, but you can also set, I don't know, the NARP token, right? Like any token will work. And then you can check, okay, any ERC20 token will work. And then you can check the balance of the address, so of the smart contract address, because Vitalik instead of sending it to all these members, he only sends it to this one smart contract, which is this one. So you can check, okay, how many token do I have? And then kind of calculate, okay, how many new token do I have? So balance minus the total withdrawable, which is the total withdrawable is just what's already in the smart contract. Sorry, what can already be withdrawn, which is then this stash, right? These little pills of money. So yeah, okay, and then we have three variables that I haven't talked about. We've got the admin fee, we've got the protocol fee, and the new earnings, but these two are the interesting ones. So if you want, as the owner, you can set yourself an admin fee where you say, okay, I want, for example, 20% of the whole revenue that comes in, and then it gets sent to your address. So essentially what happens is that there's going to be another party here that will have a little stash of cash as well. And that's like kind of the incentive mechanism for the admin to take care of this payment contract. Yeah, so if you want, you can set it here. You can also leave it to 0. It's really up to the person that deploys the contract. And then we've got the protocol fee, which which goes to the Data Union DAO. I'll talk more about the Data Union DAO in a minute, but essentially it's 1%. So 99% you can do whatever you want with it, but 1% goes to the Data Union DAO, where we then fund new data unions and help new projects to build with data unions, essentially, and with this particular smart contract, for example. Right, and then we have the new earnings. So we have new tokens that we have calculated up here, and then we subtract admin fee and the protocol fee, and that's essentially the rest goes then into the total in the earnings per member. So now we have to calculate, okay, how many token does each member get, because this smart contract only does equal division. So every member gets the same amount of token. Right. And then you kind of this is just total earnings. So the smart contract knows how many token have been earned. Right. So, and then the members, they can just withdraw their token at any time. The revenue gets refreshed. And this is like kind of how this mechanism work. Right. Let's talk more about the use cases and what this micropayment is for, because it's very specific, right? Because we've got this these batch transactions, and these transactions, it only really makes sense if it always gets sent to the same people, or sorry, the same wallet addresses. It doesn't make sense if Vitalik starts with this stash to this bunch of people, and then this stash goes to another bunch of people. It doesn't make sense then, because then you don't really save on any transactions. So this is really what I'm talking about. The same amount of the token go to the same people addresses. That makes sense. Okay, and what kind of use case? So what is a data union? Let's start it with that. So a data union is essentially an organization. You could even say it's a DAO in a way, but really let's just stick with an organization. So you have a bunch of people, and they want to share their data, or they have valuable data. Let's say you have a phone, and your health data is stored on it, and now you want to kind of earn with it. So now in Web 2, what happens is that they just sell it. You can't really do anything about it. They just will use that data and give it away and get money for it, and you won't really get anything out of it other than using the app for free, for example. So the Web3 solution, or our solution, is forming data unions, where you publish your health data, for example, from your phone, and earn with it. So this health data gets summoned into one data set, and then this data set gets purchased by someone, right? So in that case, Vitalik would, for example, purchase health data, or what's more likely is that a hospital comes in and says, hey, cool, this health data is super interesting. What can I do with it? Train my machine learning model and all that kind of stuff. So it's crowdsourced data and you earn with that. And our smart contract enables this, right? So the hospital pays us in the smart contract money, and then it gets distributed. Your money accumulates because maybe there's another hospital buying that data, or maybe the hospitals are subscribing to the data, which means, for example, they send X amount of token every month to the same bunch of people. And then your balance increases, and at some point you can say, okay, cool, I earned a decent amount of money, and now, I don't know, I buy a burger with it, whatever, and you know, you can do whatever you want. And the Data Union DAO is kind of the organization behind this whole thing. Like, we are pushing this initiative, and, you know, program the smart contracts for that, and an SDK as well, which I'm going to go into, I think now. Oh no, we're going to talk about Swash first. So an example of a data union is Swash. So Swash is a browser extension that you can install into your browser. Who would have thought? And you can earn with your data, with your browsing data. So that's really cool, by the way. So I highly recommend to check it out. So you install it, and then you take some boxes, like, this is what I want to share, this is what I don't want to share, and then you earn with your data. And how that happens is Swash creates a wallet address. So you click a button and say, okay, I want to share my data and earn with it. Click, and then Swash creates a wallet address and adds you to their data union, right? To this data union contract I showed you, to this microtransaction contract. And then they get all these addresses and get all the data from these different addresses, put them in a data set, and then someone comes and says, hey, cool, this is a cool data set, I want this. I want to subscribe to it, I pay you money to this smart contract, and then all the members get rewarded in Swash token in this case. There's another data union called Demo. And Demo is a car app, essentially, where you see this device here, you plug it into your car, and you can earn with your car data. So it's like drive to earn, essentially. So you share your car data, you earn token by doing that.
Developer sharing. On developer.
Sorry, if you're not asking a question, could you please mute?
And right, and then we have so yeah, this is what happens, right? Okay, so these are the two examples. So pretty cool projects. I highly recommend checking them out. And then a short recap, so how this whole thing works, because this was a lot of information. So the admin, that's your project, for example, deploys the smart contract. Then you add members over time, so these members would be your users that publish data. And then you can set an admin fee if you want. It can be 30%, can be 20%. It's up to you. Maybe you have a different business model, so you don't need this percentage cut. But yeah, you know, like wherever you want to do. And then your members, they publish data. So that's, for example, this health data. It could be the browsing data. It could be the car data, whatever. And then and if you're lucky enough, there's someone that actually wants to buy your data as well, so your data set, and pays you ERC20 token to get sent to the contract. And then, you know, your members can withdraw their token over time as their token balance kind of increases within the contract. Yeah, okay. So yeah, we also have an SDK. By the way, Nab, how much time have I got left?
You have about 8 minutes-ish left.
Okay, cool. Okay, we also have an SDK, which is really cool. So you don't really need to program any Solidity or anything. Like, you can just work with this in the smart contract, like all the things that I talked about, and you might went over your head or something like that because it was maybe not well enough explained or not enough context. it doesn't matter. You can just use this SDK and you'll be fine. So how this works is that you set up your client right here. And this is a script, so this is where you have to put in your private key, but you can also put in a provider. So for example, you can put in MetaMask, and MetaMask will then, do all the transactions. But in this script, we kind of deploy data union and then set the admin fee, add members. So it doesn't make sense to have MetaMask here. So here you then just declare a data union. So you deploy data union, and then that's really it. Like, your data union is then deployed. You will get an address back, and this is like the smart contract you can use for your microtransactions. And this private key will be then the owner of the smart contract, so you can do like all the admin functions with it. I also forgot to mention actually that you can deploy on Polygon and Gnosis. So these two chains are supported by us. Right, and then you can also get data union, the data union by just getting it by the contract address. Right, so this is what I'm talking about, right? You can just say, okay, data union set admin fee, and then you can set the admin fee 0.3, so 30%, or you can add members, you can remove members. By the way, they have to be, your admin private key, otherwise it won't work. And then data union.withdraw, or can do anyone, can be the admin, can be a member. So this 0x1234. So yeah, you don't need to do any Solidity. You could just use this contract. We have documentation for this, so feel free to check it out. I think this is going to be uploaded on YouTube, so you can just press pause and get this. But you can also find it on our website, dataunions.org, and then go start building, and then you'll find it there too. There's some guides how you can create your data union, and maybe more context where you can read what it actually is, our framework. Right. Okay. How much time do I have? 6 minutes. Okay, right. We also have the Streamer marketplace. For the people that don't know Streamer offers a toolkit that enables you to publish and subscribe JSON-based real-time messages, and that's powered by the Streamer network. So you can send notifications, wallet-to-wallet communication, and IoT connectivity. So your health data, let's say from your phone, you publish that out, and then someone can subscribe to this data stream. And they offer a marketplace. Maybe I'll just show you this. Maybe I'll just show you this here. So they have a marketplace, and you can integrate your data right into their marketplace already. There's not a lot of products shown here because we republished it a few weeks ago. So it's like a new version. And you can actually integrate the data union not only with code, but you can also use the Streamer Network's core, which is the front end, where you can just create a data union with front end, which is super handy. So you can say, okay, this can get published on the marketplace as well. So you can say, hey, this is the DevNTell data union. You can add a cover image. You can write a product description. Add this stream. So this would be the health data stream, for example, where you publish it. I think this is maybe a bit too far away, but I'm going to talk about this in February more, this streamer thing. So it might be better to just check it out on the website if you're interested. Anyway, you can then select the chain and say, okay, data token, or whatever token you want to use to sell your data. And you can select an admin fee. I just want to briefly show that we've got a front end. So if you want to use that, it's up to you. But you can also just use this code. And again, there's more about this in the Data Union DAO docs. Yeah, cool. I think I'm done. I didn't get to show the smart contract because I was too slow. But here are some links. The transactions here on Polygon, but next time. The documentation you can find here, the website you can find here, and our GitHub smart contract. So if you're interested, we actually have the smart contracts here in this repository. It's public, so anyone can check it out. Just press pause on YouTube if you're watching this afterwards. It's really cool. I highly recommend to check it out if you know a little bit of Solidity. It's really clever. We have really cool developers in our team that built this. And then this is a thank you for listening to my DevNTell. Check out our website. And yeah, this is it. Are there any questions? I think we've got 2 minutes for questions.
Awesome. Yeah, this was wonderful, Nico. Thank you so much for taking the time to show us all this cool stuff. One question on top of my mind is Streamer the only way to basically publish the data that the data union smart contract will consume? Or
that's an excellent question.
yes.
No, actually not. So Streamer is just an example. So we are actually a spin-off of Streamer, but they programmed it in a way that anyone can use this smart contract. So it's just the microtransactions the smart contract is handling. So it's really like if you don't want to build a data union with it, you can even just reuse it for different purposes. So you can, if you want to send your data through AWS, you're happy to do that. But you can also do it in a decentralized way, which Streamer is offering.
Dope. Excellent. We got a question in the chat. Rishu asked, can the batch transactions be done for ERC 721 tokens or just ERC 20?
Good question. I think, I'm not sure, but I don't think so, no. I
guess that's a feature request.
I think that's a feature request, yeah.
Dope.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Any final questions from the crowd here? Feel free to type or ask.
Thanks. Oh, wow, that's a lot of chat. Oh, okay, but that's not from today.
All right, going once, going twice. So.
Oh, Kemp says typing.
Oh, Kemp. Yeah, all right. We'll give Kemp a couple minutes. But in the meantime, thank you so much again, Nico, for coming on. And the best way, oh yeah, I missed you at DEF CON. Yeah, great sesh. So the best way to follow all the great stuff you shared here today is through Twitter. Those two Twitter handles. And if anybody's actually interested in helping out pushing data unions forward, or maybe helping out with Streamer, what's the best way for them to get in contact and get the ball rolling there?
I think the Discord is the best way to do it. So if you go on the website, dataunions.org, dataunions.org, you'll be able to find, there's a join Discord. So that's the best way to get in contact with us and the community. Same for Streamer as well. And we're always interested in new projects building with data unions. So if you can think of an X to earn case that you think oh, this could really work with this micropayment thing, feel free to reach out to me on Twitter, on Discord, on Telegram. My Telegram handle is this. So the same as my Twitter handle. So yeah, feel free to reach out. I'm happy to have a call with you as well. Even if it's not about data unions, just reach out to me. I'm happy to talk. And yeah, so whatever you guys want. I'm here to talk about it.
Excellent. Love to hear it. Well, with that, that's a great way to end things off. So I want to wish everybody a very happy Friday or weekend, wherever you may be. And be on the lookout. I'll drop the link for the POAPs in the chat here and in the general chat, and we will catch you back here next week. And don't want to miss out, we got a Halloween meme contest on Twitter, so drop your best spooky Halloween meme for a chance to win 400 code token. Oh yeah. And yeah,
nice.
Catch you
guys. Bye. Thanks for listening.
For sure. See you again. Have a good one. Bye.